So, we're finally here, discussing time travel in the next Mass Effect game. Hey everyone, it's Lockhart here, and I'm going to discuss how the next Mass Effect game can use time travel in its story, and how we could be seeing the return of both the Milky Way galaxy as well as Andromeda.
Lockhart QT.
Honestly, when watching other talented Mass Effect content creators, and even in my own comment sections, I've seen time travel brought up loads. And from here onwards, this is just going to be speculation and theories, but we will be using in-universe lore as well as technology and materials from the Mass Effect series that are actually confirmed and exist for looking at this wild theory. Now, I know you're asking straight away, how is time travel even possible in the Mass Effect universe? Well, the answer to this could lie within the Mass Effect relays themselves as well as the Geth. We all know that the mass relays manipulate space-time to create mass-free corridors between each other to allow for traversal along the galaxy, basically zipping from each Mass Effect relay to the other. And thanks to the Element Zero material seen in the Mass Effect series, ships are protected when travelling beyond light speed by creating a space-time bubble to allow for travel between different relays. This is how we actually travel from different galaxies via mass relays in the Mass Effect series. And using the mass relays, this could potentially be used for time travel. Another method of time travel could be the Geth telescope. If you've watched either Mr. Hulfin or Calla Elizabeth, you'll know what this is, but essentially it relies in the Coalesce Array, which is a gigantic Geth structure composed of 3 primary mass relays, joined together with strange unknown technology. Using sensors in the combined relay corridor as a form of FTL, the telescope, or the array as it's also known as, has the power to observe intergalactic distances in real time. This Geth telescope could be used in terms of a new story device to allow for our crew to essentially see different galaxies in real time without travelling to them, and could incorporate time travel and could potentially allow for travel between both the Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda, which would create several gameplay advantages. But with all this in mind, why would BioWare even possibly think of introducing time travel in the Mass Effect universe? Well, I can see a few possible theories here that I've seen in the community and a couple things that I'm going to add myself, so let's get on with them. Number 1. We travel back in time to stop the Reaper War. This is the least likely in my opinion, but we could be travelling back in time to stop the Reapers from even being created. But this would start a problem in terms of storytelling. In most time travel stories, Back to the Future and loads of other ones, if something is changed in the past, then it will impact or change the future in some way, shape or form, thus being known as the butterfly effect. And if the Reapers were essentially deleted from existence or cancelled, what would the galaxy as it stands actually look like? Well, we did know that the Protheans had an empire that ruled over the galaxy before they were completely wiped out by the Reaper invasion. So what if getting rid of the Catalyst and the Reapers, we effectively doom the galaxy by having a Milky Way galaxy ruled by the Protheans with an iron fist? And we do hear from Javik in Mass Effect 3, who is essentially the last Prothean and a squad mate in Mass Effect 3, that the Protheans ruled over the galaxy and essentially were tyrants. They killed any species who didn't join them and deemed certain species as unfit and just completely wiped them out. Theory number 2. The Andromeda Galaxy characters travel back in time to allow for time travel between the Milky Way Galaxy and Andromeda. The developers have already teased Andromeda's return within the reveal trailer in terms of showing both galaxies on screen, as well as having the Godspeed Pathfinder audio taken directly from Mass Effect Andromeda. Plus, all the teasers on Twitter for Andromeda returning from the developers themselves. Basically, fans have been asking questions saying, well, what about Andromeda? Is Andromeda returning? And the BioWare developers have basically been giving cryptic hints towards this. But what if, to satisfy both fan bases, we had a playable Andromeda galaxy as well as the Milky Way, with travel between them seamlessly on like a galaxy map or a joint galaxy map? As it took the Ark's 600 plus years to travel from Andromeda from essentially Mass Effect 2's timeline, time travel will have to be incorporated here to allow for travel between both galaxies. Either that or potentially the Geth telescope, but I think BioWare teasing this somehow really gets me excited, because I would actually love for seamless travel between Andromeda and the Milky Way. Theory number 3. We travel back in time to save Commander Shepard. I've seen this brought up loads in my own comment section, so I have to address it here. This is where we enter fanfiction territory, by the way, but for some people, basically with their different endings in the Mass Effect 3 game, Commander Shepard died in the Reaper War in Mass Effect 3, and since Shepard is the most popular character in the series, BioWare would need a way of bringing them back besides cloning, and I think time travel would be a solution to this. However, like I said, not only do you have potentially the butterfly effect, so if Shepard is saved, then how does that impact the future? I also feel like this would be, a really weird way of bringing back Shepard, and I personally hope they don't do this. I hope they either do something like cryo freeze, or the game just picks up straight after the Reaper War where Shepard's body is actually found. Because as you guys remember, we have the after credit scene where Shepard is essentially found on the floor breathing. In my opinion though, time travel is unlikely, as it poses loads of problems in terms of the logistics of how it could work in universe, and personally I think it would be a major cop-out on BioWare's behalf, and if it were to be used to retcon certain aspects of Mass Effect 1, 2, 3 and Andromeda, I really just wouldn't like that at all. I'd much prefer a true Mass Effect sequel taking place either directly after or a few years after Mass Effect 3's endings, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. So anyway guys, tell me in the comments below, what do you think BioWare are going to do for the next Mass Effect game, and do you think it will involve time travel? Thank you so much for watching, and for more Mass Effect videos, gaming videos and Mass Effect lore in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!